Hello, good evening. My humble namaskars to all sadhaks seeing this video. Today on 7th of February 2026 around 5 p.m. I had the good fortune to meet our Guruji, retired Colonel T.Sreenivasulu Gurudev. And I had the opportunity to meet him on the road, which is also in kind of ashram, as he says. We are now right at the bank of Hussain Sagar Lake. It's a beautiful location, lovely evening. It's around the sunset time, and we were having some discussions, and I was taking guidance from Guruji. Couple of topics that popped up during the conversation, and I feel it would help all the sadhaks, and therefore I'm taking the liberty to ask Guruji two of the questions. And Guruji, humble request to you to help us, guide us, navigate these situations, which we all as sadhaks, come across. The first one, in my experience, as well as what I have heard from other sadhaks, is what are the subtle signs of progress or slipping in the mark of sadhan. So whenever we are doing our sadhan, we usually feel that we are progressing, but sometimes that feeling of progression is a mirage, false, or our own biases. But we really don't have a conclusive way of saying whether we are moving ahead in the spiritual journey or slipping in the spiritual journey. So what I want to know is, what are those subtle signs that we can consider either as a progress or giving us a sort of indication that we are probably not progressing as we should. So, Guruji, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, definitely. That is understandable. It is a basic question. Every sadhak is more interested. But there are certain issues which need to be understood. The thing is, in spiritual journey, uh, it is not like a kind of any physical activity which we undertake. It's totally different. It's not like a physical activity wherein you can measure your progress. You are not training in a gym, or you are not training for sports wherein you can measure your
It's not tangible. Yeah.
progress and all that.
Agree.
For that, probably if people understand the essence of what spiritual journey is all about, probably probably this question may not even arise. The spiritual journey is all about freedom from the karma. Karma is the central theme. A person is born with the accumulated karma from the past. He carried forward to it, and his life is dictated by the karma which it is born. Now, when we say that what is the spiritual growth of a person, is now getting free from the karma.
Balance the debt.
Yeah. To give you the simple analogy, let us take the example of let's say, two persons. A person has 1 crore net worth money, and other person has got 100 crores net worth. But then the person who has 100 crores net worth, he has liabilities worth 200 crores. Whereas the person who has got, whose net worth is only 1 crore, he has no liabilities. Right. Now, out of these two, whom do you classify as a rich person?
The one with 1 crore.
As simple as that. The moment you say how much is the net worth of a person, you straight away got to minus the liabilities. Okay? In the similar point of view, from the similar example which I have given, when you say what is the spiritual growth of a person, it is inversely proportional to the accumulated karmic debt, karma.
Reduction of the karmic debts.
Okay. Inversely proportional. The lesser the karma which is balanced, the higher is the person spiritually grown up. And the more karma he is accumulated, he is spiritually degenerated that much. Now remember, it doesn't matter whether it is good karma or bad karma, because in the dictionary of the divine, there is nothing known as good or there is nothing known as bad. It is all human construct. You got to understand this very clearly. It is the amount of karma which has been accumulated by a person that dictates the spiritual growth of the person. If that be the case, now spiritual growth is all about getting freedom from the karma, because it's the karma which acts as the fuel for the continuous cycle of birth, death, birth, rebirth, and death. The cycle of rebirth is continuously goes on and on because of the karma is acting as the fuel. Unless the consequences of the karma are completely neutralized, there's no freedom there.
Absolutely. And this becomes even more relevant, Guruji, because a lot of us cannot equate or cannot imagine what is the balance of karma that we have. And therefore, this question becomes...
Exactly. Now, you only tell me, how do we know how much of karma we all have accumulated when we took birth?
No.
It's just not possible. And it is for this reason, no person can lose his karma or become free from his karma by his own effort.
Absolutely. Right? One of the other saying that I've heard is, when you are done with all karmas is when that's the last breath. So they say your number of breaths is equivalent to the karmas that you have in life. So, we can never say that we are completely off that debt because in the living life, because that's not possible.
Yeah, that is all talk. Okay, there's no point in getting into all that. But now coming to the practical aspect of it, all yoga systems, all tantric systems, all philosophies, all religions, all doctrines, if there is anything else, that everything is geared towards a particular aim. The aim is to trigger the burning down of this karma. And once it is triggered, it will now go on in an autonomous mode on its own. There is nothing left for the person to do. But the triggering of that burning down of karma, that's what we loosely call, in the loose modern languages, they call it as simply awakening. Otherwise, there's nothing known as awakening. The cosmic power is always awakened. It's fully conscious and all powerful. It is just to distinguish the beginning of the process of burning down of karma that we call it as awakening. And which yogic terms, we call it as Kundalini Shakti, Kundalini energy. Although Kundalini energy itself has 1,000 names, Sanskrit names. Different people who follow different yoga systems or tantric systems, they use different terminology. That's the important thing to understand. So once this Kundalini energy has been awakened in the human body, the burning down of the karma begins. That is the, you can say that, fundamental process or the basis for the spiritual growth of a person. How much you are freeing yourself from the depths.
And that equals to the growth, spiritual growth.
That directly equals to spiritual growth. Of course, the implications are profound. I will not go into because that will become a long topic. The video also may become too long. Because once the karma is burnt, mind becomes calm. When the mind becomes calm, mind starts acting as a mirror to the soul, which is at the core of the human being. Right? When the mind starts acting as a mirror, the soul is able to see its nature getting reflected back to it.
It's a self-awareness that starts to...
Self-awareness is always there for the soul. But there is something else.
It's becoming its primary nature.
There is something else which is getting reflected back to it. Earlier it was under the illusion that it is identifying itself with all the worldly problems. So once that mind is calming down and it starts acting as the mirror, Now, what is that which is getting reflected back to the soul? That we will I will give a small brief on that. Otherwise, soul has no form. So we know, like we see ourselves in our mirror, we see our face. So soul, there is no form. So what is that soul can see in that mirror, which is mind, which is acting as the mirror temporarily for time being. Every soul is, they say, it is said that it is divine in nature. It is made of three qualities. Consciousness, or call it awareness, what you are saying, the consciousness absolute. It is aware that it is aware. Consciousness absolute. And then truth absolute. Rather, firstly is the truth absolute, because it realizes that it is the only thing which is true, which is there, and there is nothing else other than the soul anywhere in the cosmos. Although the duality still persists for time being, but this is the fundamental nature of this soul. Truth absolute, consciousness absolute, and the third thing is the bliss absolute. In Sanskrit, they call it Sat, Chit, Ananda, or you call it when you compound as a compound word, you call it Sachidananda Swarup, or the form of the divine. These three qualities, they start getting reflected back to it when the mind is calm. Otherwise, it will not realize. But then there are profound implications because of this. It is not that simple. People say that is spiritualism all about kind of a psychotherapy. That's what again people get carried away. The implications are very profound, because when the mind is in a state of chaos because of the karma which is there in the subconscious mind, beneath the surface of the conscious mind is the subconscious mind, and all the karma is accumulated and stored there. Because of the karma, the surface is chaotic. There is a chaos in the surface of the mind. All human emotions keep arising. Because of that, the mind is it is no longer acting as the mirror. The soul, which is at the core of the human being, it can't realize what it is. It is identifying itself with these worldly problems and getting sometimes happy, sometimes what do you call feeling sorrow, sometimes like that. Correct. So this is the basis, fundamental process for a spiritual growth of any person. Now, what are the implications? What I am talking about, the profound implications. The profound implications are, everything is, as we know, is a form of the energy only, including the intellect, egoism, mind stuff, everything is egoism. Correct. That energy, that what is the fundamental form of the energy, or the cosmic energy in its fundamental form, in its basic form, the soul starts realizing that it is its own power. Okay. Because when it starts realizing that fact, that it is the truth absolute, there is nothing other than it, then what about all the physical activity, psychic phenomena, physical phenomenon which is going all around the world, which you are perceiving it through your senses and all that? When remember the basic thing which the soul is realizing. The soul is realizing that it is the only truth. There is nothing other than itself. Rest everything is all illusionary in nature. When the first ray of light started dawning on the soul, that it is the truth absolute, the implication is all physical phenomena in the universe, all the psychic phenomena in the universe, it will now start coming under its control now. Now this is something profound to understand. Correct. Now once that comes under control, what else is there left for the soul now in this cause? It doesn't want anything, it is not interested in this world any longer.
So this becomes a Brahmasmi feeling.
That kind of, no, the kind of a dualism will still be there in the soul. That will be a topic for some other day. Sure. Because even after all this, all that is happening is, once the karma is being eliminated, there is no reason left for the soul to continue in the body of flesh and blood. So it simply quits the body permanently, never to take birth in any womb, either animal womb or a human womb. It is freed from the cycle of birth and death. What happens after that? That's a different topic altogether. But the dualism still persists.
If you were to simplify this and say, just for general understanding, that if my stockpile of karmas are slowing, or rather burning out quite fast, and the debt balance is coming down quickly, is it safe to say that my tendency to do more action, more karma, will also come down, and I'll start feeling some peace?
Exactly, I'm coming to that only. As we have discussed, every human being is born with a bundle of karma. Whatever the karma, whatever he is experiencing in the life, the kind of ecosystem which he has inherited when he is born, the kind of intellect, whether it is sharp intellect, whether it is dull intellect, the kind of egoism with which he is born, whether it is boosted ego or humble ego, and the kind of parents to whom he is born, and the kind of siblings he has inherited, and the kind of neighbors he will have around his house, the kind of friends, relatives, society. This entire ecosystem which is around the person, which is his internal, that is his personal world, this ecosystem is because of the project, it is a projection of the karma only. Which means any person, whatever he is undergoing through life, in the life, experiencing the life through the senses, 5 senses, is a reflection of the karma only there. It is a reflection of the karma there. There is nothing outside. The karma is now being projected outward, out through the senses, and is being made to experience through the cerebrospinal mechanism. I'll come to that also little while. So therefore, now it is even a probably, I'm sure it is a very simple thing to understand now. What will happen when the karma is getting eliminated? The external life which he is undergoing through is now getting impacted there. All the unwanted relationships are getting neutralized. Life is becoming simpler and simpler. If it is whatever is the karmic relationship which he has got with the world, whether it is monetary relationships or human relationships or any other responsibilities or duties, everything is getting now neutralized. Now.
The chaos will start dismantling.
The chaos is now disintegrating. As the karma is getting bound down behind, the life outside is becoming simpler and simpler, and the mind is becoming calmer and calmer. And now, as a result, what happens is, internally he knows what is happening for him. His life is getting simplified.
Awareness of the duality also is sort of unfolding.
Exactly. And the mind is getting calmer and calmer, and the soul starts getting a first glimpse of its own nature, of what it is. As a result, what happens is, all those fears, anxieties, they start dissipating. Yes, to some extent, one can say that these are the first signs of whether the spiritual progress is taking place, whether he is progressing or not. That is that way I can answer. But we can't answer it in kind of empirical terms.
Yes, it is not very tangible.
We can't quantify it.
Agree, and this is very, very, very subtle in terms of some of the indications that you just mentioned, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think this is a good parameter or barometer for us to start looking at our life in that sense from the prism that you just mentioned. And again, related to that, there is a second question that comes up, Guruji, is there are times when we are not burning our karmas, or we end up creating more karmas as well. We get slightly distracted and we start creating more, compiling more karmas. So I personally feel that is also a testing time as a sadhak. Now, it is also a question where I don't have a tangible markers to say that you are being tested or not being tested, and if we are being tested, what cautions do we need to have so that we don't end up increasing our karmas and take undoing all the benefits of the sadhana that we've been doing for so long.
Okay, I got you, but then again it is related to the same.
It's the same
thing.
It's an extension.
No, not in that sense. Not in the sense. I told you earlier that the very fact that someone is asking this question, how do you know that whether we are progressing spiritually or not? What are the signs? That itself shows that the focus is on something else. The focus, that means the person is treating the spiritual growth as a physical
It's
activity
more
there.
physical. Okay, right.
If he knows the essence of what spiritual growth is all about, then he won't have probably asked this question.
Okay, fair
right?
point. Fair point.
Similarly, the same thing which you are now asking just now, it also somewhat akin
It's
to,
an extension of that.
it is an extension of that
I
only,
agree.
because the sense of every human being thinks that he is doing it.
It's easy.
The reason is in spiritual growth, he doesn't do anything. And no one accumulates any new karma per se. Actually, what happens is, the it is like, let's say that the human being is like a water tank with a huge quantity of water, millions of liters, and every day about there is an outlet and there is an inlet. 1,000 liters of water is being drained out, and 1,000 liters of water is entering into the through the inlet. It is the same water which is going through the drainage out. It is getting recycled back through the inlet. So the water tank is now always full. It is never, and it will go on and on. You can say that the water tank is now, you can say that, eternal now. Same is the case with a human being also. Every day from morning to night, he is undergoing through the consequences of the accumulated karma. The karma is being drained out. But the same karma, while it is being drained out, it is getting recycled back into the psyche. It is changing its form and color. That's all about it. So therefore, there is no question of adding actually new karma as such. It is the same, the karma, consequences of the old karma which is undergoing through. It is now becoming a cause for the future karma now. Cause, effect. The effect, while undergoing through the effect of the previous cause, this experience itself is now becoming a further cause for future effect now. So the wheel of causation goes on and on. Firstly, this is the thing. And next thing is, no one is, yoga is all about, they say, when you stretch the logic to its limit, into a perfect logic. What if someone is undergoing through the consequences of the karma and can ensure that the karma doesn't get recycled back at all? So one day, it is a mathematical certainty that the accumulated karma gets exhausted. That what you are talking is the very ideal way. Only God, when he incarnated as Lord Ram and Lord Krishna, they could be in such a state, in such a perfect state, wherein the karma which was already there, that is getting exhausted, and there is no new karma which is now being recycled back. There is nothing of new karma. It is the old karma which is now getting recycled back into the. If you want to call it a new karma, you can do that. It is a play of the word only. Otherwise, it is the same karma which is now becoming a cause for further future karma effect. Only such divine incarnations could be in that state. Rest everyone, we are trying to reach that level, state. So in the process, what happens is, some amount of karma is bound to get recycled back into the psyche. Doesn't matter. Let's say 1,000 liters of water is getting drained out every day. 1,000 liters are entering back into the system. Somehow, with the help of a spiritual guru, there is a status quo has been changed, and you have started managing to drain out more number of water. Let's say, instead of 1,000 liters, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, you are increasing it by regular yoga practice. You have managed to increase the size of the outflow. It is a mathematical certainty that the tank is going to be empty one day. But remember, even if you manage to, let's say, at a very high rate, you are able to eliminate, let's say, instead of 1,000 liters, you are now able to, let's say, 2,000 liters or 5,000 liters. But still some balance thing is, some is going to, 1,000 liters, it is coming back into the system. Now the inlet has not been changed now. Now let's say somehow you managed to do something to the inlet also. So started blocking the inlet also by exercising surrender to the Guru and exercising dispassion. Now somehow you are managing to block that inlet. Instead of 1,000 liters getting into the water tank, it is getting reduced now. 950, 900, 850, 800, 750, like that it is getting reduced. The outflow is increasing, the inlet
Is coming down.
is coming down. But point to remember is some amount of karma is going to get recycled back. Even a person is spiritually in a very high state, some karma is now going to be enter into the system because he is not, no one is in such a state. That's the problem here. So that's how all about accumulation of new karma and all that. And the only way one can ensure is the optimum conditions continuously remain. You ensure that the optimum condition prevails all the time, so that the karma burning takes place at an optimum level, as much optimum level as possible. Obviously, everyone can't ensure the same level. Everyone has the different capabilities and capacity.
Absolutely.
So whatever a person can ensure that at optimum level the karma burning is now taking place, that's it's good enough. One day it's a mathematical certainty.
Absolutely. So some of the keywords, just for the sadhaks to summarize, I think the first and foremost thing that I pick up as a sadhak is the devotion to the Guru, and complete surrender to the Guru. Second is focused on your sadhan in the purest form. A third one is not worrying too much about the consequences and not doing the sadhan for the sake of achieving something. It's doing the sadhan with the purest form. I think the Shakti is intelligent enough in knowing what it needs to do, and it will do what it will, what it needs to. So surrender to the Guru, doing the sadhan, and the third one is being dispassionate about the karmas that we do, and not doing it with the thinking of I-ness, that I am doing this. It is if we know that we are just an actor, or we are just a conduit doing this action, and do it with dispassion, I think we can move, uh, I would say, relatively quickly in this space. Of course, this is a timeless process. It takes millennia, but still will give you an opportunity to experience some of the progress in spiritual. Then, is there anything that you want to add?
No, I will say that why are you saying that it is a millennia it will take and all that? You don't have to worry that much. If that be the case, no one would have started practicing yoga system. Yoga is not that scary either, although it is a little scary sometimes.
That's encouraging.
It is neither scary also. It has got both. God has given the safe lines for yoga practitioners. There will be a rapid progress. In the, if I recall the words of Swami Vivekananda, the famous saint, if it may the moksha may be possible even in 6 months if one is serious enough. Okay, now coming to again the question we are asking, we are suggesting for the sadhaks. See, there's nothing a sadhak can do here. You have to understand it, because the sense of I-ness will set in. As long as the moment I sense of I am doing sadhan comes in, the spiritual progress will be slow now. You have to understand that, because the burning of it is something like akin to applying brakes. You are trying to put one leg on the brake and trying to give accelerator, rise to the accelerator. You thinking that you are doing more sadhan by giving more rise to the accelerator, but the thing is you're applying brake also simultaneously. See, if anyone who is riding a scooter, he knows that you apply brake. I think with foot, you have foot brake.
Yeah, in the scooter.
In some scooters, you have foot brake, whereas the accelerator is in your hand. On one side, you are getting scared. You are trying to apply the brake on the scooter, and the second time, while trying to give the accelerator, thinking that I want to go fast. How will you go fast? Why, when you are applying the brake there? You have to be careful. You have to manage the sadhan there, the speed and the pace. So similarly, no person can actually, as I said, no one knows what the amount of karma he has got accumulated, and no one knows how much progress is actually made in terms of physical quantity, like we were discussing. The only one thing which a person can do, or rather, all in fact ancient scriptures have been harping on this. For any soul to free from the cycle of birth and death, there are only 3 requirements to be met: a human birth, and the desire to get out from the cycle of birth and death. And the third is a guru. That's it. The moment these three things are fulfilled, it is, as they call it in tennis, it is a game, set, match. It's finished. The game is over now. It's only a matter of time after that. Now here a sadhak needs to understand how the status quo has been altered, just like that water tank we were discussing, how the burning process of karma has been triggered. First, focus on that. And that moment has to be kept alive always. You have lit fire to a stack of grass. You need to ensure that the fire is always tended and it keeps burning. That's all you got to do. Now, how the process of awakening has been triggered in a human being, when the disciple is focused on the Guru, and the Guru as must have given him some mantra, and the mantra is also being chanted simultaneously, and the Shaktipat has taken place. The Kundalini energy has been awakened, and the burning of karma has been triggered now. Now keep that thing alive now. I'll give you another analogy to make you understand it much better. If you are crossing in a sea, let's say you have started off from Mumbai, in the western coast of India, you started going towards, let's say, Dubai city, Dubai. Initially, you have charted, you have put the direction, plotted the course on the chart. You know in which direction you have to go. For example, let's say 240 degrees or 26 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's say I'm giving a random figure. The actual thing must be different. So that particular reading, you ensure that your compass is turned in that particular direction, right? Ensure that you have lifted your sail up so that you are taking the advantage of the wind power. The wind is now pushing. But all that you got to do now is
just maintain the direction.
Yes. Maintain the focus. That's all you got to do. And take advantage of the wind. Put it in the correct direction. Otherwise, then the progress will not be there.
Keep harnessing the
but you will go in the correct direction, all right. But the progress will not be there because the wind energy is, you're not able to tap into the full wind energy because the sail has been turned in a wrong angle.
Sure.
The wind is not pushing the boat forward with adequate speed. Sure. The progress will be slow now. Second thing is, if the focus is lost on the compass needle, your direction is lost because after leaving the coastline, after about a few hours, you will not see any land anywhere. You will only see the water everywhere. You don't know where you are. You may, instead of going towards the Dubai city, you will drift into some other direction. You are totally lost there. So therefore, it is only a simple piece of magnet and iron. What is after all a compass? A compass is a small piece of iron and magnet. But that simple piece of metal has the capability to make you cross this sea safely in the correct direction. So a guru is also like that instrument, the compass. As long as the focus is there on the guru, the direction is right. Next, as long as a sense of surrender is there, self-surrender is there towards the divine, the burning down of karma occurs in a optimum level.
And I think the grace of the Guru is also like a wind which will give you the speed.
Yeah, it is pushing you ahead. Provided if you are direct with the...
You're adjusting your sail and you're getting the grace.
Yeah, exercising the self-surrender to the Guru. And see, any culture in the world, even in a small primitive cultures living in forests, not that I have got anything against the forest dwellers, human beings are same everywhere, whether he may be living in an advanced society or in a primitive cultures. There is always something known as the idea of divine. Even in primitive cultures, they worship some animal or a tree or a mountain. Okay. Similarly, in various parts of the world, in various places, They worship the God in different forms. That's how the religions have sprung. So the idea of divine is always there. Now this is as far as the way of living is concerned. The way people live in different places on the earth. Primitive people living in a forest, they worship a mountain because it is their culture there. It is the way they live. It's not that the divine is there
it's
in
a way
the
of life.
mountain there
Yes.
per se. It's more of a culture. So similarly, people approach the God in various cultures around the world in different ways. They give it a name of religion. Otherwise, there is nothing known as religion as such. It's more of a culture, actually, to be very frank. Great gentlemen have been born on the earth from time to time in various parts of the world to teach certain teachings to the mankind who are living in that particular area in a way they understand it. That's why the teachings of different religions, although uh, the central theme is same, the way it has been taught is different. Languages
The core
are
remains the
different.
same.
The core is same. So therefore, now when you want to formalize the self-discovery of a human being, a human being wants to realize that his own nature is nothing but the divine only. The same God whom he is trying to search outside is none other than him only. When the self-discovery has to begin, now God only has created a way out for him in the society through the medium of another gentleman known as Guru. Guru is also like any other ordinary professional. See what happens when a person meets with an accident suddenly. He prays for his life. Yeah, God grants him, is kind enough, he saves him. But God is not going to manifest out of thin air and perform give treatment to him there. You will arrange for an ambulance. You will arrange for a stranger to call for an ambulance, and you will arrange for an ambulance. You will arrange for that the person is rushed to a nearby hospital quickly. You will arrange for the availability of a surgeon, and the doctor attends to him, and treatment is given, and he is saved. So it is a God only who is saving him, but by manifesting as various agencies, right? Similarly, for a person, no, as they say it, no, uh, human being has been created by God. Human, the diseases have been created by the God, and medicines
Also created.
also been created by the God, and the person who can administer the medicine is also, who is a doctor, is also been created by the God. Because that's how the human society has been ordained by the God. And since the dawn of human civilization, and everywhere in the world, it is the same phenomena. Every society has been ordained to exist in a certain way. So similarly, when someone is is on the path of self-discovery, which we call it as yoga system, now some gentleman has to act as a medium here.
To guide and to move them.
Yeah, to wherein the process is triggered, the burning down of karma. I'm using the word all yoga systems, all tantric systems, all philosophies, or if there is anything else, that everything is geared towards the triggering of the burning down of karma. That is a universal phenomena.
Yes.
That has to get triggered in a human being for his salvation, for his moksha, so that he discovers what he is truly, the divine nature. And what happens when he starts discovering his divine nature? I told you, all the physical phenomena, all the psychic phenomena is now comes under the control of the yoga practitioner. Now, when such a thing happens, what else is there fun in running after accumulation of wealth, money, all fame, power? Because everything is at his command. You see, when a king is moving out into the street, he doesn't need to carry a wallet, right? Because the entire kingdom is his.
Absolutely.
Similarly, when a soul realizes its divine nature, what it has got to do with what is there in the world now, right? So that is the profound implication of the practice of yoga system.
Absolutely.
Okay, and this is affected only when that point is triggered. the burning down of karma has to be triggered, which we call it as awakening or the awakening of Kundalini energy. I'll call it by different names in different yoga systems.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So that in essence, and that will only happen by through the medium of a guru. If that be the case, guru is now an instrument. He has become the instrument. Just remember that compass needle which I talked about when you want to cross a sea, you are going in a boat. Now once you caught hold of a guru, now the focus has to be on the guru all the time now. It is basically the divine only blessing you. God only is blessing you, just like he blessed you and saved you from the accident by manifesting a doctor in time. Similarly, he has arranged for another human being as a guru. He is only blessed. It is only the divine blessing which is coming to you. That other gentleman who happens to be a guru in human form, he's just like an instrument. Maybe you may be in higher spiritually in a higher state than that person. See, someone is met with an accident. Someone else is operating on him to save him. That person who met with an accident, he himself must have been a very senior surgeon. Then the person who is operating upon him, the surgeon, he must be a junior surgeon. Whereas the person who met with an accident, he himself must have been a very high profile surgeon. But he needs the help of the junior surgeon only. So same is the situation here also in spiritual domain. A person may be, however, he may be a very senior person spiritually. He needs to go through that law of guru-disciple relationship, because the law of guru-disciple relationship is the basic law. It seems it cannot be violated. Someone can't become spiritually, great or grow up spiritually without the
grace of Guru.
Without the grace of Guru.
Right.
Means the law cannot be violated. Maybe probably the human society has been ordained like that. Just like we say that a baby can't get educated unless it goes to a school. You may hire any amount of teachers in your house because you are a rich person, but the true education will not be learned by the baby unless it goes and sits with the commoners, goes to a school and gets exposure to the society at large. Similarly, the principle of just like the principle of student and teacher can't be violated in a society, the principle of disciple and guru can't be violated. It has to be ensured.
Sure.
Now, next thing, in this context only, let me also say, here this is another misnomer among the mankind. Many people say that when we serve the Guru, because it is through the grace of the Guru. It is when you say serve the Guru, it is not the Guru whom we are saying that you serve. It is only a technique being used here. For example, if you see the path of devotion, when a human being is pursuing a path of devotion, when he is worshipping a particular god, let's say Lord Ram, for example, it is sufficient if his mind is focused on Lord Ram all the time. But the problem here is the mind, because mind has been manufactured in such a way in nature wherein it is unstable. It is always fluctuating. It's never constant. It's never stable. So it is difficult to hold on to the idea of Lord Ram always, to remember Lord Ram always. So what we do, we give them some techniques. We say, okay, go, there are so many temples in the name of Lord Ram, go and visit the temples. There are so many places where Lord Ram has visited, make a pilgrimage to those places. Or whenever there is a Ramayana being screened on the films, you go and watch the episodes. Or some street play is being played about Ramayana, go and watch that. Or we tell them, encourage them, celebrate the birthday of Lord Ram. By doing all this, the mind is somehow tied to the idea of Lord Ram here.
Bringing the focus back.
Exactly. By going to the temples, by making the pilgrimages, by celebrating Lord Ram's birthday, nothing is happening per se. They are helping you to remain focused on.
It's just an instrument for you to
yes,
the focus
they are all externals which you are creating, techniques to keep your mind focused on the idea of Lord Ram. And one day the mind will slip into Bhav Samadhi, or the state of thoughtlessness. The Ram will,
natural.
Yes, that is Bhakti Yoga, which you call it. Similarly, when we say that do service to Guru is a technique which we are using so that the mind doesn't drift away from the Guru there. Who had given you that initiation was managed to trigger that process of burning down of karma. Remember, as long as the mind is focused on the Guru and adequate surrender is exercised, the burning down of karma keeps occurring at optimum level. And to keep the mind focused on the Guru who had triggered that process, you undertake a lot of service to the Guru, various things, and there's no hard and fast rule that one has to do this much service like that. Everyone serves the Guru according to their capacity. Even if you're a poor man, he has nothing to offer, it doesn't matter. You may offer even just a fruit or a flower or even a glass of water. As the Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, any devotee can offer him either a fruit, flower, or a leaf, or even water. Any of the four things will suffice if you can't offer anything else. So similarly, no one is saying that to serve the Guru by doing this or that and all that. Let everyone serve the Guru according to the capability, but the important point is focus on the Guru. When you say that focus on the Guru, you are not focusing on the person in the human form there. You are focusing on the unknown, formless God only there. But since you need an instrument in a physical, how can you focus on a formless entity now? You need a physical form. And moreover, that formless divine has blessed you through the medium of a gentleman known as a physical Guru, who had managed to trigger that process of burning down of karma. And how he has managed to do that? He has no power to do that per se. He has been given that authorization by his own Guru. Otherwise, he is also like just simply like an operator only. Just pressing the button, there flows the electricity. Similarly, he has pressed the trigger, pressed the button, and the burning down of karma has started in the disciple. That's all it is happening here. And many people, they get confused also here when it comes to Shaktipat especially. They try to compare it with independent yoga system. No, a Guru has to be intellectual. He should be able to preach.
Sermons.
He should be able to deliver the sermons. Or he should be able to, be living in a life of PS life. I don't know what you mean by PS life. In the dictionary, it is all, as I said, there's nothing, it is all different techniques are used here in different yoga systems. A technique which is applicable to a particular yoga system are not applicable in some other yoga system. Just like you have to, let's say, move from one point A to another point B on the planet Earth, there are so many routes to do that. Or if you say mountain top, there are so many routes to climb that mountain top. Some routes may be easy, some may be a little difficult, but that is based on the temperament of the human being. You will choose one particular route to climb. But as it starts nearing the summit, everything is merged there. So similarly, different yoga systems have different requirements. Okay? So you can't compare like that. That's where they get confused, people. Yeah, please.
The idea is not to make it tangible, not to make it, very, not to expect that there will be, a logic and a science to evaluate whether you're progressing or not. I think what we need to just
focus on the Guru.
Focus on the Guru.
And surrender.
Surrender. Continue to do the sadhan and have dispassion while you're doing your day-to-day activities. I think these are the four key elements. And in terms of the progress, as Guruji said, if you're feeling calmer, if you're feeling less agitated, if you're able to do day-to-day activities with calmness, peacefulness, and not having urge to do or indulge into a lot of various other things, I think that itself is a good sign that you're moving in the right direction. And any feeling to have or any urge to quantify any of this progress, I think that itself is a sign that you're not moving in the right direction. So, Guruji, anything?
Yes, that's exactly, I think, what you have been asking the same thing again and again. Because the problem is every human being thinks that spiritual journey is something like a physical activity that he has to achieve. Actually, there's nothing a human being can do anything about it. Once that process of burning down of karma is triggered, Now, whatever happens, it happens in an autonomous mode, because everything is the creation of this cosmic power only. So all the karma accumulated by the person is nothing but it has been created by the cosmic power only. It has to unwind itself on its own. That's why we call it the cosmic power. When it has created the human being, first it has created, it is in a creative mode. Then it has started sustaining the illusory world for the person, making him experience all kinds of things through the senses, the five senses. And what is being experienced, that also the same energy only manifested as nature in the form of 5 elements, physical elements. The human being, the creation has taken place for the human being, the life is being sustained in the mind, and what is being made to experience is outside in the form of nature. Now the same energy, it has to go into the retro mode and starts receding back from where it has started. So it has to unwind itself, all that it has created. There is nothing left for the person to do, neither he can do anything. If he tries to do anything, it will be like applying again the brake, which I gave you that analogy. He's trying to slow down his progress. And many people, they complain that sometimes I'm somehow feel that I'm not progressing. Obviously, these two things are not met. The focus is gone. Remember what I told you? You're traveling, trying to cross the sea in an Arabian Sea, traveling from Mumbai to Dubai. The focus is lost. You're going in a wrong direction. And after 2 days, 3 days, by now you should have seen the Dubai coastline, but there is no coastline anywhere in the sight. Obviously, you will feel that I'm not progressing, I'm not moving forward only, whereas he is drifting in a different direction. What can we do about that? One is that. Second thing is, the sail which has been erected is in a wrong angle. He is not able to take the full advantage of the wind power. The progress is not fast enough. He has been told that he will be progressing at so many knots per day, but whereas the wind power is not sufficient enough, he is moving at a slow pace. There also sadhaks tend to feel that he is not moving fast enough. So these are the two things which sadhak needs to remember, everyone needs to remember. The primary focus should not be lost. What is that what one wants? Freedom from the karma. And the solution has been given, how to go about achieving that freedom. The person has already got the blessing through the medium of another gentleman called Guru. Now just don't apply any brake now. Let the process go on. That's all one has to got to do in this. It's very, very simple, but then one has to be brave enough and stop getting distracted by all kinds of literature which is available in the media. That is also adds to the problem. And as a result, what happens is the clarity gets clouded. As a result, the focus is lost,
and more distractions.
And then the focus is lost. The very there is a danger of drifting away from the path of yoga. And lastly, before I conclude, I will also like to say something one more. When you throw a stone into the air, or when you throw any object into the air, it is the nature of the Mother Earth to pull it back. And you don't have to blame the Mother Earth for that, because it's the nature of the Mother Earth not to allow anything to escape its influence of the gravity. Similarly, when a human being is stuck in this cosmic illusion or Maya as we call it, when the soul is trying to free itself, escape from the influence of the Maya, simultaneously the Maya is also trying to pull him back. This one has to remember all the time. And the Maya, being a conscious entity, all-knowing entity, it will use all kinds of tricks, psychic tricks, psychological tricks, so that the yoga practitioners
can't
escape the Maya. So again, the solution for the yoga practitioners is the Guru there. Surrender to the Guru. Because even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna makes it very simple and clear. He says that yes, it is indeed very difficult to overcome the cosmic illusion or the Maya. it is hard to pierce. But those who surrendered to Lord Krishna, it becomes easy. That means the binding power of the Maya, it gets diluted, it becomes weak. So that is a trick. Either way, finally, as I said, the focus always has to be on the Guru. Self-surrendered always to be on the Guru. That is basically Guru Tattva, I mean to say that. Not as a Guru as a person. Focus always on the Guru Tattva. Surrender always to the Guru Tattva. And to escape from the binding power of the Maya, again, the surrender to the Guru is the only way out. It becomes easy. Two simple things. Focus on the Guru Tattva and exercise surrender to the Guru Tattva. Day and night, or as much as possible, one can do. Use all your tricks up your sleeve so that your mind is always focused on the Guru. If you have to, let's say, keep, what do you call, if you are, let's say, an artist, if you can sketch the, image of your Guru, okay, sketching the image of your Guru in various poses as much as possible, so that your mind is a way to keep your mind focused on the Guru. That's what I mean to say that. Use anything you can do in whatever skill you have, whatever in which you are good at, but ensure that the mind is focused on the Guru all the time. So much so that you are some kind of a temperamental guy, wherein you can't accept all this. Even if you can visualize your Guru, that you don't agree with your Guru somehow, you hate your Guru somehow, okay, keep hating the Guru, but keep the idea of your Guru always in your mind. Even if you hate him also, doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Whichever emotion you have towards your Guru, maintain that emotion, but continuously maintain it. Continuously keep hating the Guru, so that your mind is tied down to the idea of your Guru, and the burning of your karma will go at a rapid pace. So that is my last message.
Thank you so much, Guruji. This has been phenomenal, and I love the conversation.
God bless you.
I just hope we can continue conversing, but I know the limitations of technology.
Yeah, otherwise the video will become,
Yes.
I think,
So
too
much,
long. I think it has already become very long now. By now,
I'm sure sadhaks listening and viewing this will enjoy this. Please do let us know through the comments if you liked, and if you have any further questions. I can always get back to Guruji, or you yourself can directly reach out to Guruji or to your own respective gurus, and we can take the discussion forward. But I think to me as a person, it's very helpful, crystal clear of what I should be doing as a sadhak, and thank you so much for your time, Guruji.
God bless you, and my blessings to all the yoga practitioners. May you all progress rapidly on the path of yoga and free yourself from the illusion of Maya and realize your true divine nature. God bless you all. All the best.